Hi.
We're all good now.
I think we're good now. Let me first get my spiel. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face, my card making space. And all fingers crossed that we're not having tech issues. For those that are watching this on the replay or just like, what on earth is going on? Camera froze. Thankfully, it happened right at the very beginning. So when I'm done this, I can just go and delete that little previous stream, but I kept the note up because I've got permalinks and tech, man. Of course, the tech gremlins were going to just jump right in and give me grief. But at least it happened right from the get-go. And let's just all keep all fingers and appendages crossed that we were doing so good for so long. I do think, though, just again, this software just gets extra glitchy on me when it comes to just little weird things. And right as I was starting the previous live, I had forgotten my microphone wasn't plugged in, and I think just plugging it in and the software was just like, I'm done, I'm out.
Yep.
You're no longer a professional, you don't belong here. So anyway, welcome. It is Stamptember. Things are chaotic. I already did a video. I technically already did a live today, even though it was 5 minutes long. We're gonna make something with the Pretty Pink Posh September release, so a holiday themed card. I have a link to the release. I have a link to all the supplies that I plan on using. We edit as we go, depending on what happens. My links are affiliate links. Full disclaimer, that just means that if you click on any of my links and then end up ordering something, I do get a little kickback from that. It does not cost you anything extra. It's just adds up throughout the month and helps pay the bills and pay for this ridiculously expensive software that gives me nothing but grief. Love it so much, but it is what it is. So hello to everyone, and thank you for jumping over to playing just whack-a-mole with cameras and live streams and all the things.
It's wonderful when it works.
Oh yeah,
when it doesn't.
it's been working for the most part within reason, and then it just, I think today it was just like, you're a complete idiot for wanting to go live, woman, because I do have 5 million things I need to do, but I like going live with you guys. It's fun to have the chat and to like create in real time. So yeah, we're gonna make it work. Now, let's see. Oh. Okay. We're doing it.
Waving detective movement.
Yeah. So everything should be good. Those that have been here for a long time, you guys know the absolute insane issues I was having. I honestly don't remember how long it's been, but I think it's been close to a year now since we've had issues. I forget. I don't even want to know. We've been doing good, but like all the camera freezing and just so much chaos. Anyway, we're figuring it out. Life is great. Oof. I want to do my the bit of stenciling on this card base first before doing the main images. Kind of all over the place. This will make sense though, because I want to do this because I'm going to use oxide ink and we're going to add some splatter. And I want to give this time to dry while I do everything else. So that's why because usually I do my main images and then, we create the background and but sometimes there's a method to the madness. So I need, this'll work, just some like copy paper just to protect, because I'm going right on my card base, which can get messy and oxide ink on top of red oxide ink, which this stuff, I hadn't even opened this yet and I managed to get it on like everything because that's just me. So yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna protect myself here. I'm gonna protect my card base. And this is an A2 card, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm using it again. I used it in the last video and I posted that one, the link to it in, does the link not work to the giveaway? Like for the form, that might be, I might need to quickly edit it.
It says September 7th on it, so that's probably why people are.
Give me a second, folks. Because when it yeah, it copied a fix. Give me. Oh, that will be why. Just wait. Diddly. I've got literally 5 million tabs open. What else is new? Okay, that was done. New live. Oh, it should work. Why is it being dumb?
I can get into it, but it just has the wrong date on it.
Oh, did I? Why? That's. I swear to God, technology. I'm gonna lose my mind. It's a dumb thing, but I was in here 3 times. I can't.
I think you just linked the wrong one.
No, it wasn't that. It kept jumping around. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Just why is everything being stupid? I'm not even kidding. I actually changed it like 3 times because I was like, why does the old one keep popping up? Okay, it's fixed. It'll refresh in a second. Double check that it works.
Yes, I will. Just a moment.
Double check that it works. What is happening? Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's the correct one now.
Okay, we're good. Everything's good. Amy's just losing her mind. Welcome to technology. Okay. Updated it. And it goes to the right one?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Yeah. For those that might not know, the little card giveaway, it's just a form. It's just a Google form. And I do that just on the Sunday lives. It's just the easiest way to do it. And then you just put in your name and address. He picks a winner before the end of the live. I mail out the card. That's how that all is supposed to work. Does it always work? Heck no. Obviously, because, we got to do the things. Back to the regularly scheduled program. There we go. We can use my trusty piece of Post-it tape.
Yeah, and your other links are just fine.
Everything's working? Okay. Everything should be fine now. Again, Google was giving me grief today.
Griefy Google.
Usually when I make the new forms, things appear in order, and even he was thrown off at first because he's like, it's not there. And I'm like, yes, it is. And we're obviously having a day. It's just one of those days. Anyway, back to what I was doing, which is the little candy cane stripe stencil, which is what I used on my previous Pretty Pink Posh video. So I've protected, all the things just to hold stuff in place. And I talked about this when I did the previous video, which I linked it below if you haven't seen it. When you're dealing with stencils that have what I call like large open areas, so there's not any connecting bits. So then this applies to basically any sort of like stripe like this, or just areas of stencils that are very, very open. They'll move, So that is always something to be aware of. Sometimes, if depending on the intricacy of the stencil, if it's just one of those things, I will spray the back of it with something like a pixie spray, very low tack adhesive. I rarely use pixie spray because I just don't see the point. Or the other thing I do, especially with ones like this that are a stripe, I'm going to blend in the direction. So instead of, we normally go in circles, I go in the direction of the pattern. So then you're not moving those stripes. And in this case, the center is going to be covered. So I'm just going to kind of hold it because I don't feel like dealing with pixie spray today. I'm not in the mood. And also because everything is being stupid and annoying. So we're gonna, okay, the form works, everything works. Okay, this Post-it tape is not strong enough. So we're just gonna go like this. Like this. There we go. And we'll do it again on this side. There we go. There we go. We're going to make everything work today. Like, I will make it work.
Everything will work today.
Yep, it'll work. We'll make it work. I don't care. Like, I'm nothing if not stubborn. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've never had any luck getting all the pixie spray off my stencils. I don't remove it. I leave it. I clean off my stencil, and whatever pixie spray is left on there, I use it next time. Like, it'll still stay tacky. If it really bothers you and you absolutely have to remove it, soap and water. And gentle scrubbing. You don't want to wreck your stencils. Like, they can hold up, to a decent amount. But again, if it's a very intricate stencil, just be very, very careful that you're not like yanking on a little piece. But yeah, gentle soap and water will remove pixie spray. I rinse off my stencil. If it's got, you know, a bunch of ink or whatever, I just wipe it off. And the pixie spray, I stick it right back in the package. And then the next time I pull it out, it might still have some tack to it. And that's a good thing. Okay, so I'm just going to blend this Candied Apple Distress Oxide ink, which red. I have talked about red. Red pigments and red dyes are a beast. They are actually larger than other colors. And the reason why that matters is they stain absolutely everything. They stain everything. They act in weird ways. If you've had any sort of red ink pad for like a significant amount of time, you know, sometimes years down the road, you'll go and open a red ink pad and it just looks weird. So, and like people are like, it's moldy. It's not mold. It's not mold. It's just red. It's a beast. It likes to just be weird. And it likes to get into everything. I don't work with red very often because one, it's just not one of my favorite colors. But for holiday cards and Valentine and just certain things, like a pop of red, like does the trick. And ones like this color, like this Candied Apple, are worth it. Totally worth it. So yeah. Yeah, red is just, it's basically a fugitive pigment in some ways. It's, once you're aware of the things, it just is what it is. And that's also why, like, with photopolymer, it will stain photopolymer. So anything with like red dyes or red pigments in them, you'll get that nice pink staining. It just is what it is. And yeah, I just try to be, one, aware of it, and two, just me, I'm going to get it absolutely everywhere. So I'm not worried about the center because it's going to get covered up because I die cut. Yeah, it's going to get covered up. So I just wanted the pattern because it's fabulous. And then do this black stain too. It depends on the brand. It depends on the brand and it depends on the formula. Some black inks stain heavily. Black soot, speaking of distress, black soot ink, black soot oxide, black soot paint stains everything because it is extremely pigmented. Oh, it looks so good. Can't go wrong with a candy cane stripe. Set that aside because I will deal with it later because otherwise I will have it everywhere. And then I just want to try and carefully remove this from my grip mat because there's still some ink on the grip mat. So you can just like go like that. Oh, lovely, lovely. And then I'm wiping that off before I get to anything else because again, red. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, and when I say like the stain, I don't mind the staining. Like my photopolymer, whether it's, you know, because again, this grip mat, they call it black. It's the acetate is black. The actual photopolymer isn't. Photopolymer staining, not a big deal. Just, I want to word this as kindly as possible, but at the same time, people that get upset over their stamps getting stained really need to get over it. You do. You need to get over it. Like, if you want to keep them pristine, the only way to keep everything pristine, don't ever use it. You know, like, they're meant to be used, they're meant to be loved, and the more stained they get, the better they work. With stamps, especially. Legit. The more you use them, the better they stamp, the better they work. And it was this prevailing mindset for years, because I've been making cards for over 20 years now. And that bizarre prevailing mindset of like everything needing to be kept pristine. Everything needed to be super clean and brand new. And like everyone, like people literally used to lose their minds the minute something got stained or a little bit wrinkled or whatever. And it sucks. Trust me. There's certain things, it's like when it's a brand new shiny thing that you bought and it's like in the first time you go to use it and it gets stained or crinkled or whatever it is. I know, I know, I know. But the minute it happens, then it's like it's done. It's broken in. Let's go. So, yeah. I talk about it a lot just to remind people that these are little tools and use them. Have fun with it, you know? Like, yeah. It is what it is. So, anywho, we have that background just on white. And when I used it in the previous video, I did the same thing. I did but candied apple oxide, but I did it on craft, like on Desert Storm. Love. Now I need to do splatter. And for that, we're going to take just a little bit of tape. Take a little bit of tape just to close my card. And again, I'm trying to be careful because just red, it needs to dry. So we'll tape that down. And then we're gonna, here we go. We're gonna throw it in. There we go. To my splat box. And get all that tape out of there. And then we're gonna do that. And for that, because I want red, candied apple distress paint. You know, I've shown a bajillion times tinting your own splatter using like white gouache, etc. However, there are limits to that because when you're tinting something that is white, you are going to need a significant amount of color to try and get it to like red. You know, it's going to turn pink. If you are tinting white paint or white gouache, you will have to add significant amounts of something red. So with stuff like that, it's like I go direct to the source. Get the paint. So there we go. Oh, my splat box is an absolute disaster. Like after the video that went up this morning, I was doing like inky backgrounds and stuff and like spraying, distress spray and oxide spray, and like I had so much sludge coming up. Like I technically need to use it, like replace this with a new splat box. I've just been holding out. So okay, I've got, oh my god, everything is just a mess. Is what it is. Anyway, okay, I only need like, there we go. This is also a thick paint, so I need to thin this one down with some water because it's too thick to splatter with. So we'll just add a little bit of water to it. There we go. Love it. And yes, all distress paints, not just the block set, all distress paints, all acrylic paint stains, and it's permanent when it's dry. So you always just need to keep that in mind. This is one of the things where you do clean it up the minute you're done with it, because otherwise you are going to have a bad time. So thin it out with water. There we go. We'll add some splattery bits just because we can. Yep. Okay. How can you splatter without getting it on you and the floor around you? You don't. You don't. It gets everywhere. One can find space like a splat box or, you know, just a box. Whatever the personal preference is. And then you also gotta. It's like how we teach little boys using the potty how to aim, you know, so it doesn't get everywhere. Because that's just what we gotta do. It's kind of the same concept with splatter. You start learning how to aim. You know, you aim towards your project. That said, it is not foolproof with specific spot, because quite often when I go to go like this, sometimes depending on how loaded my brush is, it basically will, if there's a lot on there, it'll kind of go everywhere, you know? But yeah, you gotta just accept it within reason. Within reason. Having a splat box or a box or something with some sides up helps a lot. Like, must have, in my opinion. And then sometimes I still, yeah, you can kind of see it on screen. Like, I got a little bit on here, a couple, depending on what. Ooh, even back. Oh, I got splatter on my ink pads. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, one of the many reasons why I do not wear white clothing ever, because I would trash it anyway. I also try not to wear anything I particularly care about when I'm in here. I don't dress fancy to begin with, but yeah, the amount of times I have gotten full-on splatter on my clothes, like, and wrecked them. So that's why I dress like a slob, man. So don't worry about it. You know? So, yeah. Okay. I'm a big fan of puppy pads. Yeah.
That's definitely one that would work.
Yeah. It works. First, that sort of a thing works for splatter. Honestly, if I'm doing something really mucky, like, and I'm real, like, you know, I'm like mixed media, making a mess, sprays and splatter and all things, I'll lay out like my flour sack cloths. Like, I will lay that on my desk to help, and it helps catch some of the excess. That works too. Or like I used to have back in the day, like just an old towel that I would keep just in here. And same thing. In fact, in my old videos, it was an old pink towel, and I would just lay it out so that it would absorb splatter and spray and all the extra stuff, and then I wouldn't have to scrub my work surface all the time. So we're going to let this dry because the paint is a little bit wet. So we're just going to set him aside, and then we're going on to the main images. And yes, aprons are wonderful. I always forget to put mine on. I've got an apron in here, and it's great, and I love it. I just don't more often than not, and I should get in the habit, but I get in here and I'm just doing my thing. Okay, so for the main little images, I pulled out this Gingerbread Friends set. I love this set. It's so cute. It's so cute. Okay, there we go. We'll use this guy and that one. Actually, look, we'll do 4 because I think I'll put 2, if not 3 on the front, and then 1 we can use on the inside. So we'll use these little guys. Do I want to add any other little bits? I don't think so. They've got a lot of little, you can add a little bow tie, little decorative bits, a little like Santa sack. So cute. Little gumdrops. Stop it. Stop it. But we're going to keep this simple. So we're just going to use these guys. And we're going to white heat emboss this onto Neenah Desert Storm because that's what I love to do. Okay. I always use old toothbrushes for splattering. I used to. Back in the day, I used to use toothbrushes. I don't like using a toothbrush anymore unless I want like a lot of really fine splatter, like for a galaxy background. That's where a toothbrush comes in handy. But I like more variety in the size and more blobby bits, hence the fan brush. But again, you can experiment with that too. Different types of brushes create a different effect, different amounts of liquid, all the things. All the things. It's splatter with an L. And I will not say it the other way. I had enough trolls, and we went through an entire season of chaos over that, and someone being absolutely nasty to fellow makers over you saying splatter. And that's how I ended up with the magnet, because a lovely subscriber sent that to me. And yeah, it is splatter. Splatter with an L. And will never be anything else on this channel. Full stop. In fact, it's splatter with a capital L in my world. Because once you go after fellow card makers and act insulting, and I'm not, that person is, they can't comment. They got banned from my channel after all of that, calling names and being just unhinged. Oh, the drama. And yeah, when they went after the other makers and were being incredibly insulting and mean, the pettiness in me came out, and now it's Splatter with a capital L. I know, this set is so cute. And yes, it is a splat box with an L. That's what Tim Holtz called it. So if he calls it Splatter, who am I to argue with Tim Holtz? Seriously. Although there are people that do that too, which just blows my mind. It's like, just, no. So, coating this with detail white embossing powder. There's something about white heat embossing on craft cardstock that just appeals to me. Plus, with these little images, I was like, this is too perfect because it looks like icing, you know? Like little gingerbread men with little icing details. That's how it looks to me. Okay. Sent you a matching mug. Is that what's in that box? I hate to admit it because I know you sent that to me a while ago. I haven't opened it yet. I have all the things, the cards and things that people have sent to me because I need to like film it and I haven't had the time. But I have it all in a box, like in a bin, just over in the corner. And every time I walk by it, I'm like, I need to open it because you wrapped it really nice too. Anyway, that's funny. I love it. Love it. Actually, can you grab me that box? It'll be... Huh? It's the one with the striped paper. Yeah. Yeah, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, okay, we'll open it. We're going to open it on camera. Why not? Just got to make sure I got everything melted, which I did. It's all melted. I can't believe people would get ugly over crafting stuff. Oh, you would be surprised at some of the absolute insane drama that happens every once in a while. Thankfully, not very often, really. It does not happen very often. Full stop. Like, I think really that was the last drama.
Yeah.
That I don't think anything's happened other than like every once in a while, like a random little comment, that kind of thing, but nothing like crazy. But that was like a vendetta, and I don't care when somebody comes after me. Like, I've got thick skin, and I genuinely don't care. But when they start going after smaller makers, and yeah, it was name calling and insult, like it was just ridiculous, and that's where I went a little nuts. Anyway, okay, I don't want to show an address on here, but yeah, Geraldine, who's in the chat, sent this to me, and like I said, I am. That's funny. Really behind. I have not done a Happy Mail haul video in over a year and a half. So I'll get to it. But it's all wrapped. I was literally thinking about this the other day. It always and it showed up in like perfect condition, like the wrap and everything. So, and then I always feel bad. I was like ripping it open. Wah. But let me get this open. Okay. And this one. What? Oh my goodness, I am not having a good day today. Oh, I won't cut myself on the box. I can't even get the box open. I am, y'all. All right. Oh my goodness. Well, it's packaged very well. And I am just having to, okay, there we go. There we go. Because now you got me curious when you said that in the chat. Oh, how did you tape the inside? I don't even want to know. This is just a crazy exercise here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ooh, ooh. Oh, I do love mugs. Oh, thank you, Geraldine. Oh my goodness.
That's pretty cool.
With a capital L.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love it. And yeah, it's got splatter on it. This is perfect. So we'll just have to be like sipping from this while I'm splattering all my things and being just like petty. Because y'all know, I'm petty. Well, thank you. And like I always say, gifts are never necessary. Like, ever. What is this? Oh. Oh, that's really cute too. Thank you. Thank you. That's so cute. I can put that on display.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stick that there so I don't lose it. Well, thank you. I very much appreciate it. I'm going to put that there. Oh, there's a card in here too. Fabulous card. With the rose. Oh, you used a wax seal. I do love wax seals. I love wax seals. It was actually a lot of you guys and me doing the Happy Mail hauls. Like, this one was in a box, but some of y'all have sent me cards over the years, like with the wax seal. Just side note, these do come through the mail. You generally have to pay extra postage if you're just mailing like just a card, because more often than not, the wax seal will make it thicker. So you just have to check with your local post office. But I have received cards from all over the world over the years with wax seals on them. And I love them. I love wax seals. I need to get into that again. I haven't done any wax seals in a really long time. And I hate breaking them, so I will literally rip open the envelope off to the side because, yeah. That's really pretty. Thank you. It's packaged so nicely. I like your from the twisted mind of Jen was, why didn't I get that stamp? You know? Yours was just really cute, designed with love by me. Mine should say from the twisted mind. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Yeah, my dream job is driving the Karma bus. Love it. Love it. And y'all, Geraldine is in the chat. You guys can go follow her. She does videos now. Okay, I need to set this somewhere where I can't knock it over. I'm gonna put it right there. There we go. Okay. Okay. That was our little field trip. I love it. Thank you, Geraldine. That was awesome. And that mug is I'm gonna have to clear a little spot so I can keep it like right in front of me, because I use mugs to hold, my markers and brushes and stuff. Love it. Love it. Okay. Okay. Back to the regularly scheduled program. I put the link in the description box to the video that I did, because when I show this, there's inevitably people who have not seen this before, anything. I did this a couple years ago, something. These are distress watercolor pencils, and I put them in one of the little Tim Holtz plastic palettes, and I did a video showing how I did this. So that is what's linked below. And then when this live is over, I'll put it in the end screen, the playlist that I have of all the videos I've done, like including the one making this palette, but all the videos I've done like coloring with distress watercolor pencils. Do you need to have them in a palette? No. Like, you can use just the color pencils like as is, or you can pick up the color from the pencil. The only reason I did it like this was that way I could have them all like laid out in front of me. And this was done before they ended up deciding to release all the rest of the colors. And people have asked me over there, like, in that time, because it's been over a year, if I was going to do a second palette. I am in the process of redoing all of them. In fact, I have them right here. I'm working on it. I have so far finished one, because it takes, and if you've seen the video or when you see the video, you'll understand it is time consuming doing this. But I am doing them so that I will have all the colors. So I finished one. I still have the whole second palette to do. I'll get to it. But for now, I keep using him. And when I get these done, he will become a dedicated splatter palette, because I use them for that too. So, okay. Doodly doo. Yeah. So, I did it for my little grid. I just took a piece of distressed watercolor paper and a ruler, and I was just like, dirt, 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 dirt. I think I gave each one like an inch or whatever, and then I just painted the color. I didn't label them. I just kind of whatevs, because for the most part, I know the colors like off by heart within reason. It's like picked raspberry and candied apple and seedless preserves and villainous potion, you know, like things like that. So, yeah. Again, do you need to have them in a palette? No. You can use just the distressed watercolor pencils, like however floats your boat. I just like using them like this. It's convenient. And that's what we're gonna color these guys with. I just posted a video recently. I don't even know, you guys. I don't even know what day it is. It's Sunday. But yeah, I posted a video recently. This is one of my favorite ways to use the distressed watercolor pencils, is painting on craft cardstock, specifically like Neenah Desert Storm cardstock with them. And again, disclaimer, this is not watercolor paper. It's just regular cardstock. So there are limits to how much you can do with something like this, because regular cardstock is not designed to handle water. It's not watercolor paper. What I do with this, I just pick up the color and paint. It's fine. But you cannot like do full like washes and layering of colors and all the things. You will know if you've gone too far, because the cardstock will start to literally pill and shred. It can handle a decent amount, but that's why when you actually want to do like real watercoloring, use watercolor paper. But for this, it's gonna be fine. So we're gonna paint these little guys, and I just use my little water brush, and I keep a cloth to wipe said water brush. Let me move those scissors before I stab myself. Okay, there we go. So I keep a cloth to wipe my brush, and then get the water flowing through this guy. There we go. And then I just got to swirl. Like so, and it activates it. And because I just squeezed this water brush, it's going to be a finicky mess for a little bit, but that's okay. And then we just got paint. And because the Distress watercolor pencils are very pigmented, they sit on top of the paper and give a pretty good amount of color. You can also do this with Distress Oxide inks or any brand of pigment ink. You would just have to experiment. Dye inks will work within reason. However, because dyes are transparent, it won't be the same look. And because dyes also are a liquid, they will just immediately soak in. So you won't be able to move them around very much if you're wanting to do something like this, because the paper is just going to absorb it. So hopefully that makes sense. And we're just going to fill these guys in. It's not going to be like any sort of super fancy coloring, you know? You know? They need to make a desert watercolor paper. Chances of that are extremely slim ever happening. Because Desert Storm is, or craft paper is wood pulp. Watercolor paper is mostly, or at least decent quality watercolor paper is cotton fibers. That said, there are some cheaper watercolor papers on the market that are actually made from wood pulp. They don't work very well or as well. Some have their uses. It just depends. But while I personally would love a watercolor paper that looks like a craft, I will be very shocked if that ever happens in my lifetime, because the cost and expense to manufacture something like that for a market that, yeah, you know, the only variation of watercolor paper I've ever seen is black. And even that, there's only like 1 or 2 brands that even make black watercolor paper. So, yeah. There we go. There we go. So yeah, we're just going to paint it in. It's a water brush. There's water in the brush. Like there's water come that's what water brushes do. It's literally filled with water. And yeah. You don't need a water brush with this. You can literally take a paintbrush and dip it in water. The benefit of that would be with a paintbrush and water, you have a little more control over the water, because that is the biggest learning curve with watercolor, is learning to control the water. So you guys see me, I jump between both. It just literally depends on my mood. With something like this, it's just a convenience thing. You know, I can grab my little water brush and just and I'm good to go. But if I'm doing something like larger, if it was a larger stamp or a background or whatever, that's when I for sure will reach for actual watercolor brushes, because they're bigger and can cover more surface area. Because this is little. This is little. Here we go. So we'll do that and that. And I've gone over the lines here and there, but I'm not concerned about that. I'll wipe that off in a minute. Because again, these have pigments in them, and pigments sit on top. And they will especially be noticeable on top of something like white heat embossing. Now, if I'd stamped these in black and heat embossed them, with clear or whatever, the color would still be sitting there. You just wouldn't be able to see it, because black is black. But lighter colors like white or even metallic embossing, they don't conceal it as much, and then you can see the pigments sitting on top of them. Then we just paint that in like that. And they're kind of textured, which honestly, I'm okay with that. It's still cute. Works for me. So then, we'll take a little bit of red, of course. I'll try to be a little more careful with the red, because red is its own little beast. So we'll add a bit of red. We'll do red on his little bow tie. And then we'll do red for this little peppermint. Let's add a little bit of red. Just like so. Get more color. There we go. And then for this one, actually, let's add a little bit of pink. So we can add a bit of spun sugar. And the thing to always remember again is because this is Desert Storm, in fact, I can take a bit of white. Because this is Desert Storm, lighter colors are not going to show up as well. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of white and I am just here mixing it a little bit on just the lid of the palette and then a little bit of picked raspberry. Just kind of mixing my own pink. Because the color like spun sugar is so pale, it doesn't really show up. So that's good. That's good. It's fine. And then yes, I have many videos using the Distress watercolor pencils. Like dozens of videos. And we'll just add black soot, which, like I said earlier, black soot in all its forms in the Distress line, whether it's the ink, the spray, the oxide, the paint, and it includes the watercolor pencils. Those children out there,
they're very loud.
Someone is murdering some those kids. Anyway, not our children, for the record. Anyway, yeah, the black is extremely pigmented. So yeah. And again, I have the video linked in the description box below this live. And it takes you directly to the video I did making that palette. And again, do you need to do this? No. You can literally take those watercolor pencils. You can hold the pencil and just pick up the color. I did that in the beginning too. I just found that for me, I prefer having them in a palette. It's just personal preference. That's also the beauty of crafting. You can do whatever you want with your own supplies. You know, I'm here to give you ideas, to explain things to the best of my ability, to be a complete know-it-all, because I am a know-it-all at times. You know, and to show what my take on what this is how I like to do it. This is how I like to do it. But does that mean that's the only way? No. Again, you can do whatever you want with your own supplies. Nobody can tell you otherwise. And also, I'm just taking my brush and like just clean brush. And then I keep pinching it because I'm pulling off any color it's picking up. And I'm just painting over the areas on the embossing where I went over the embossing. So it's just cleaning it up. You know, I'm not being super finicky with it. This just gives it a little bit of a cleaner look. You know, so it's not all smeary and greebly looking. Like a little bit here and there, not a big deal. You know, that's also why I like splattering so much, because it can cover up some of the mess or distract from some of the mess. But this way, I can kind of clean things up a little bit so it's not quite so messy. That's all we needed to do. And then what I can do is take the white, which mine is like not very white because I have mixed it with so many other things so often. I'm more than a dirty brush. Let's be honest, but I can still kind of work my way through. And of course, my brush wants to be extra runny. Extra runny. And I can take that white. And again, really light colors, white, etc., are not going to be stark on top of any color other than white cardstock, you know? But I'm okay with that. There we go. In fact, I even will go back in and add a little more red because I was a little too conservative with the red and now that's bugging me. There we go. Much better. Much brighter. Doo, doo, doo. Yes. I like that. Look at these cute little gingerbread men. They're so adorable. Okay. Here we go. Simple. Very, very simple. Simple coloring. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. And then we need to die cut them. Strathmore has a tan mixed media cardstock. Strathmore does have a mixed media paper, but it's much more gray. It's not very tan. It's got like a gray tone to it, and I never work with it. I don't like the color of it. I prefer. That's why I just use the Neenah Desert Storm, because yeah, Strathmore one is just, it's a very odd color, and I don't really like it. There we go. And then there we go. I was like, where'd the dies go? It's got to use the coordinating dies so we can die cut these guys. Sweet. Is that one? Yep. That one. Nope, that's not him. Oh, that's the one that was holding stuff. Never mind. That one. And then that one. And that one. Okay. So now we can die cut them. Pop them onto there. And then get their little coordinating dies out and lined up so I can die cut these little guys. Just like so. Just like so. And then that one. And that one. Yep. Okay. So then we can die cut these guys. I got like white. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. And then put him back. Okay. Hopefully I didn't shift anything. Ooh. Don't want to lose any of the dies. That would not be good. Okay. There, we got all our little gingerbreads. They're so cute. Okay. So those, and then, again, whatever. Where did there it is. I trimmed down a piece of white cardstock, and then this is the Eyelet rectangles, oldie but goodie. This came out years ago. I use this one all the time. Love it. So I used this one of the smaller ones and die cut some pink cardstock. And then I cut down a piece of white cardstock because the plan is that and then that and, you know, a little pink and red. But I wanted to add to this. So what I thought is I'll use the new Argyle pierced plate because I do love me a good pierced background. And this one, there we go. Get off there. Okay. So this doesn't cut, well, this one does cut just the perimeter. So you can just die cut a panel, an A2 size panel. But I just want the pattern. So don't think it really matters. It doesn't need to be perfect. But if you're trying to line something up and you're like me and you die cut into the magnet and you can't see where things are going, all I do is line it up. It doesn't need to be perfect, honestly. It doesn't. And then I just take the magnet and go, there we go. He good now. Or good enough. Doesn't need to be perfect. You know? Run that through. There we go. Doop. And now it's got all that pattern. Love it. Love it. Okay. So we've got that. And then that's going to go on there. Just like so. So it just gives it that fun little pattern. And then we've got little gingerbread guys. So we need to adhere one layer to the next. So I'm gonna just put some glue on the back of this, like so. And then pop that into place on this little eyelet rectangle. And make sure it's lined up because there's, focus camera, stitching detail, which I love. And also red splatter because it jumped from the box to that and I don't really care, but it is, what is the brush you were using? That was linked in the supplies. That was the Tim Holtz Detailer Water Brush. So far, everything I've used is listed and linked in the supplies. Oh, that's the thing I forgot to do. I didn't pin the supply list. 1 second. I can do that. Go do that. Pin it. Yeah. There we go. The visual supply list is pinned to the top of the chat. We're good. We're good. Everything's good. Pretty sure you're able to do that. Are you not?
I don't think so. Maybe. No. Oh, wait, I can dismiss it, but that's it.
I only give him so much power. I don't give him all the power. Okay. That is adhered. And then what I did was, do I want to add more splatter? I kind of do. Because we're going to have sentiment. I'm going to use the, and I die cut more than one. Because my plan is to use this fabulous, what is it? Doobly-dooblies. The large Mary shadow. So it's the large word and the shadow. I didn't die cut the shadow. I don't think I'm going to use it. I think I'm just going to use the word as is. But my plan is to like, you know, and then we'll have another sentiment. And we're going to stick these guys like that. But I'm wondering if I should just adhere them. And then I'm going to adhere them and then we're going to add more splatter. Is anyone surprised? If you are, you shouldn't be. What the heck? What the heck, man? Okay. And then what we'll do, since we're going to add more splatter, is I'm going to carefully untape that. Because that dude will stick on the inside. And then I thought it'd be really cute to add, oh, don't lose that wafer die. Yep. I thought it'd be cute to add, the Have a Sweet Christmas sentiment from the Gingerbread Friends set. Yeah, I like that. That's what we're going to do. So let's quickly finish off the inside of this card so that I can get to finishing all the other things. So we can just kind of line that up onto the inside. Yep. Make sure he's straight. There we go. Okay. And then we'll stamp him with just fucking, unfortunately I ended up using expletives instead I found it. Oh, yeah. It's one of the reasons why I sweat during my live streams. Because Amy's worried that she's going to start swearing like a trucker. That's usually how I am. Okay. So we stamped. We stamped a sentiment. I managed to get schmutz on the inside. What else is new? Whatever. Peel that out of there. Doop. Doop. And then we can add adhesive. Paddle on Gina K compared to me. I have no idea. There we go. So one of these guys will go on the inside just to be all super cute. And then on the card front, let's just flip that over so I'm not better. We can adhere my rectangle. Literally, this is basically how it is in real life all the time. Everything just going all over the place. Okay. So we'll center that like so. There we go. We got like candy cane stripes. And then we can adhere our little guys. I think they're all going to be holding hands because, you know, why not? Why not? Do. I can't get the tip of my glue press bottle. Pliers. Because I do not recommend using your teeth. I've done that sometimes. Just, you know, don't recommend that. It's not good for you. But yeah, this thing seems to fuse on at times. And either I'll use something really, really grippy, or if it's just being stubborn, pliers. Just to hold it enough, just to loosen it. Because I keep it on pretty tight, because the last thing I would want is, you know, my glue just exploding everywhere. But yeah, just a pair of pliers. And we'll do that little guy. Just like that. And yes, I love gingerbread cookies so much. They're a lot of work. And usually when we make them, I do at least a double batch and make like 4 dozen. And they don't last. They last like a few days. It's insane. Okay, we've got them in here. The sentiment we'll get to because I want to add more splatter. Because, you know, the more the merrier. That's just how we are around here. So, that. Dirt. We'll do... And yeah, that red paint, stain this. Not a big deal. This time we'll add a bit of white splatter. So this is where we use the white gouache. And we'll just put a smidge on there. I cannot use my current watercolor water because it is a disgusting... The forbidden water is now like a pinkish black.
Do I need to go?
Can you don't drink it?
I'm not gonna drink it.
You leave it alone. Just dump it out and rinse it out, please.
Ooh,
Thank you.
juice.
It is not raspberry juice. Why are you such a toddler? Don't drink it. I have enough on my plate. I don't want to rush you to the ER and having to explain to the doctors. It's because he drank the forbidden water. I'm sure the doctors would love it.
I'm gonna go pour it into a lake and the fish will die.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. A little bit more water. It is like dry in here today. Oh my goodness. Doop. Okay. Same concept. You add the water, you thin it out a bit, and then we're just gonna add some splatter. Doop, doop. I'll even put a bit on top of these guys, you know, because they're just, it's extra sugar. That's how I see it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, we're good. Okay. And I went to like, I was like, where's my jar to clean my brush? You gotta move faster.
I do.
I knocked that over the other day.
Use water?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, where the heck did that all end up?
Oh, it ended up on top of the project I was working on, my laptop.
Inky on the inside now.
Oh, no, thankfully it was like just a little bit sloshed on the laptop because I keep it propped up, not close to the liquid.
Yeah.
But again, this month has been chaos. Tech issues and like everything possible breaking, and me managing to knock over a jar of water that I keep out of reach. And I still managed to knock it over. That was a fun night. It was in the middle of the night too, so I just sat here and like I would have cried if I wasn't literally ripping apart everything to soak up all that water before it. Everything is great. And yes, there was a lot of expletives with that one. Okay. Yeah. Splatter. So, everything's great. Amy's doing great. Just as the unpaid intern, he brought me food and I knocked that over onto the floor accidentally and then sat here and cried. I was like, ah.
You're allowed to have your meltdowns on what.
Oh, yeah. That's when you know I'm like going full on just losing my mind when I'm having meltdowns over.
I felt so bad for you because like,
well,
your dinner, you ruined it.
Yeah, I ruined my own dinner. Such a good job, Amy. Good lord. But it's all good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Wow. So yeah, life's been great. We're almost through this month. Everything is fine. Anyway, large Mary shadow. So I die cut it 3 times, as is tradition. Oh yeah, not the food. It was like, and it wasn't. I would have felt way worse if you had like cooked something from scratch. I probably would have cried till I vomited, but at least it was like chicken strips and fries, you know. So it wasn't like you were fully slaving away. But still, we had barbecue sauce. Like it was all over my chair. Oh, you guys. I'm like scrubbing my crabby little floor, trying to get up all the sauce. And just as I'm crying, and Chris is like, I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, thankfully I wasn't live when that happened.
Well, I don't.
You know, it'll be something else. It's you know, I'm always due for a good crying jag on a live stream. I can joke about it because whatever. I'd rather laugh at myself than whatevs. Anyway, it's been great. It's been great. Oh my goodness. Do. What are we going? I have no idea. Okay. I am going to stack these together as is tradition because I like my die cut sentiments to have that extra dimension. And that is where the fine tip glue comes in clutch. This one, even though this is like, you know, a narrower sort of scripty sentiment, it's not as finicky, in my opinion. It's a little finicky, but it's not like, you know, there are some times where I'm stacking a sentiment where I start questioning my life choices because it's like, what are you doing to yourself? This one is fine. And I love the font that Pretty Pink Posh uses for their sentiments. It is definitely one of my favorites. So I stack them and then I remove any bits of glue. You don't need much glue when you're adhering paper to paper. I still at times get a little more heavy-handed and I know better. Here we go. Do you fill the glue gun bottle the same kind of glue? I fill the bottle. And that's linked. And I've talked about it many times. I am using Simon Says Stamps Positively Perfect craft glue. Up until that glue was released, which was only a couple months ago. I forget exactly when they released that glue. Up until that point, I was filling the bottle with Simon's Craft Tacky glue, which is an incredibly thick glue, so definitely not for everyone. A lot of people don't like that glue because it is very thick. And I still love that glue. I will never not love the Craft Tacky. It is good. And then I started testing out this glue and I was like, I like it. It is much thinner in consistency. And yeah, I just refill the bottle. In fact, I don't even when this bottle gets about halfway. Try not to wreck the sentiment. I refill it because I can tell when I have to start using more pressure to get the glue out, that's when I refill it. So basically I let it get to about half empty and then I just pop the lid off and refill it. And that works perfectly for me. And I will say though, specifically with the Positively Perfect craft glue, the bottle it comes in does have a pretty fine point. And because it's a thinner glue and the bottle itself, let me grab it. 1 second, I'll grab it. Is this. Okay. So this is the glue I have inside the precision glue press. You can use this just on its own. Let me make sure first before I do anything else. Okay, that's good. You can use this on its own. It has a fine, mine's a little, I think I dropped it on the floor and I bent it a little bit, but it does have a fine tip to it, you know? And then the other thing I had noticed when I first got it is the container they chose for this, it's very soft. So the soft container combined with this type of glue, you don't have to squeeze it, you know? Honestly, in a perfect world, if they could put their craft tacky glue in this container, because the craft tacky glue is in a much firmer container, and my hands can't handle it anymore. But then that's where this thing became a game changer. And again, I did a whole review of this on my channel. You just have to search for it because that was like a couple years ago, whenever it was. For me and my hands, I love this. And he can attest to this. At the end of the day, my hands used to just ache. Like I was like a claw. Like I could barely move my hands.
You used to do pretty hefty hand massages.
Oh yeah, like my hands would just ache. And it got to the point where I was just, and that's why I don't like those little bottles of glue that people like with the precision tips. Can't handle them at all. But this one's been fine. But I prefer the precision glue press. That's my, that is my thing. Okay. Here we go. Okay, and the rest of the chat has nothing to do with this. Okay. There we go. I wonder what the best glue is. The best glue is whatever you prefer to use. That is another thing that is personal preference, and there are a lot of options out there. And people like what they like, and I love that we now have options. Back in the day we didn't. We had like 2 types of glue back in the day, and now we've got 50. I don't even know. There's a lot. Okay, so there's my sentiment. And like I said, I didn't bother die cutting the outline for it because with this, it wasn't needed. So we're just going to add the sentiment. And yes, not sure about that combo, but dies with an I refer to wafer dies. Dies with a Y refer to color. Dye ink is DYE. Wafer die is DIE. And so we just trace the back of it like so. And there we go. So we do that. And then we're just gonna stick him like that. Love it. Love it. And then this little guy, I stamped and heat embossed and die cut this before live. This set is currently, I think, completely sold out. They'll restock, but it might take her a bit. So this is from the little Christmas banner greetings, and then I used the banner greetings one. I think the die set might still be available, maybe. Stamp set completely sold out. Super cute though, so hopefully, I don't know how long it will take her to restock, but I just white heat embossed it onto a scrap of the same Desert Storm because we're gonna pop him in like right like that. Or do I want to? Ooh, carefully lift that up. Could I do that? Oh, I like that. I gotta before it fully adheres. It's kind of this glue does dry pretty quickly, but ooh, I like that. I like that. I like tucking it under. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna tuck that guy in there right under. Just like that. I like that. That just works. It just works. And then as my final little embellishment, and then we can zoom in a little bit. I'm going to use some of the Pretty Pink Posh Valentine heart sprinkles because they come in red, white, and pink. Kind of perfect in my opinion. So we can stick little hearts like that onto this. And while I'm doing this, the unpaid intern can pick a winner.
I will pick a winner.
Yeah, because then we'll
Let me just drop in the link and shot once more and give everyone a couple minutes.
do that. And that. Yeah, we'll just add a few little hearts. So cute. Okay. Just little dabs of the glue. And then press these little hearts into it. And then that one, like so. Boop. Boop. Yep. Super, super cute. And then, ooh, I have one more thing that I want to add because it's a holiday card. You will have to add diamond stickles to the supply list.
Okay.
Because we got to add a little bit of sparkle while we're at it. And with that, I'll just use, yeah, diamond stickles. So we will add it to his little hat. Just like so. Because it's super duper cute. Sparkles. Okay. And I'll also add, since I'm here, I'll just add little bits of it to their little
diamond stickles?
stickles. Stickles.
Okay.
There you go. First one.
Yes.
I don't judge you for not understanding. It's not like I use stickles very often. In fact, I don't think I've ever used stickles in a live, so like you would know. Although maybe if you did actually watch all my videos.
There's so much time to get it all done.
You think? You think? We'll make his bow tie sparkly too, because why not? In fact, let's make their little They're little gumdrop buttons. Not my gumdrop buttons. We need to watch Shrek again. I haven't watched Shrek in years. Do. And then speaking of which, that'll do, donkey. That'll do. Yeah, they've got little sparkly bits, you know? Okay. And do I want to do it to the sentiment? Why not? Go big or go home, right? Let's just trace the sentiment. Because as usual, once you get started, it's really hard to stop. So you can just go along and trace that. Super simple. Just like so. Like that. And then get right to the very end. And there we go. It's sparkly and splattery and all the good things. All the good things. Okay. There is our finished card. So very, very simple coloring with those distress watercolors or watercolor pencils, and then splatter and oxide ink on that stencil, which I love. That candy stripe stencil. It's so perfect. It's so perfect. And then the inside, super cute. Can't go wrong. Love it. Love it. Okay, let me switch. And hopefully not break anything. There we go. There we go.
Nothing broke?
Nothing broke for now, other than my brain and my will to live someday. Okay, who am I going to send this card to?
Today's winner is Louise in Sweden.
Louise in Sweden.
Yep.
Awesome. Like I said at the last Sunday Live, because I have 2 that I'm behind on now. Who knows when I'm going to get these sent out. Most likely won't be mailing anything until October, because I just need to get through this month, y'all. It's a little bit nuts. So, yeah, I save it all and then I mail everything out. Yeah, most likely we'll mail everything in October. So, it's all good. And then, yeah, everything is good. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys jumping over. I'll fix that when we're done. Delete the other live and whatever other camera issues. And then, yeah, I am going to be hopping as soon as I'm done this. I take the photos, I do all the social medias, all that stuff. And then I will be hopping right into the 5 million other things I got to do because, yeah, September is not over. We still got a plenty of ways to go. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I am going to be in an Instagram hop this week using more of the Pretty Pink Posh September release because I have barely touched on it. And so there will be other like videos and stuff that I'm going to do. So there'll most likely be a video this week, depending on how much I can get edited. But there will be a video for it at some point, possibly when it goes up for the Instagram hop or later. Thank you to the disembodied hand. Did you already wave your disembodied hand? I missed it.
It's all right. You'll catch on the replay.
Did you give me bunny ears?
No, nothing.
Well, as long as you didn't flip anyone off, I think we're good. So, yeah, I will be catching y'all in the next one. As of right now, I don't know if I'll do any bonus. I might do a bonus live this week, but I make no promises. It legit depends on a million things. So we shall see. But there will be plenty of videos coming. The pre-recorded, edited, all the things. And then, yeah. Thanks to the disembodied hand. I appreciate him helping. And then I'll edit the supply list, add that little bottle of diamond stickles I use. That was the only extra thing I used today, I think. Yeah. So, and then I'll take all the photos, do all the things, blah, blah, blah. And that is it from me, because I got 5 million other things to do. Oh, yay, Louise. Yeah. It'll get to you. It'll get to you before Christmas. Because, yeah, won't mail it out most likely till October, which isn't that far off. Like, we're 3 weeks into this month. It's crazy. And then to get from here to Sweden might take a bit, but it'll get there. It will get there. And I appreciate all y'all. And yeah, I will catch you all very soon in another video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!